Yo, what's up? This Mr. Dalvin from the group. Y'all all know Jodeci Jodeci, and I'm doing a drop right now for my man Child. Peace, 100.
Yeah, so first off, I know you're currently working on a solo project, so can you kind of talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's me and my nephew, who's Devante's son. We just went in the studio. I had a idea how to just to change R&B a little bit and bring R&B actually back to the stage from the stuff that's going on right now. So I mean, we just went in the studio and just recorded a bunch of songs, and I picked the best non-songs that I did, and we've been doing shows. We did with Bow Wow and with Little Kim. They called the management set up for me. So we just getting started off the ground.
Okay, and when can we expect your project to drop?
Well, hopefully no later than August.
Okay.
The album is done. The album is done. It's called Maniac.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, it's called Maniac, and I mean the album is incredible.
Okay. And this is your second solo album that you're putting out. Your first one came out in 2000. So how did you know now was the right time to put out another one?
Well, the thing is like I'm a really creative person. Like on my first album, I was signed to Madonna, which is Maverick Records. I was signed to Madonna, who was a good friend of mine. But I didn't really have the creative control I wanted, so I just kind of went with it because it was my first endeavor to try to do something on my own. So but this one I had all 100% creative control.
Okay.
So I mean, this one I feel more comfortable. Like even when I perform the album and perform the songs on the album, I feel more comfortable because it's my creativity. So it's a lot better for me.
Okay. And after being with Jodeci for so long, did you ever see yourself being a solo artist?
Well, growing up, I always wanted to be a solo artist, but I love my group. That's my foundation and my base. And see, I was with JoJo last night. And he's excited. He's excited for me, and Kate's excited for me. My brother's excited for me, who was Devante Swing, and they all excited. But this right now, I just feel like this is where I wanted to be. Like growing up as a kid, I never wanted to be in the shadows of nobody else. But and now I feel like I'm prepared to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
As far as a solo artist.
Yeah. I want to take it back a little bit to Jodeci's last album that you guys put out. My favorite song off that album was
that's the part out there?
Yeah. My favorite song off that album was Can We Flow. Can you give me some background on that song?
Well, actually, man, it's funny that you asked that because most of the songs that was on the album wasn't even supposed to be on the album.
Okay.
They weren't even supposed to be on the album. That was just like a song that we did in the studio one night, and I started working and just writing. So we wrote so many songs, and a lot of songs that didn't even go on the album that we thought would be songs that would make the album, and they didn't. We recorded so many, for that album.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Jodeci now. We've heard reports that you guys were working on an album, but nothing's ever really come out since that last album. What's the status of Jodeci and that new album?
Well, as far as the new album, Devante has a project coming out. As far as he's doing a solo album, which is really, really incredible. I got a project coming out, which is really incredible. Like I told you, Maniac, and and Casey and JoJo, they on tour right now.
Yeah.
So I think that we're probably gonna tour first because we haven't toured the states since like '96. So we're gonna probably tour the states, and then everybody's gonna probably come out together and put out an album because we got like 200 songs recorded already.
Yeah.
We got so many songs recorded, so we're gonna probably go through them and put an album together. And we got like hot songs that we never released or nobody ever heard. So and everybody think we never broke up though. We never broke up. We just everybody's going to do their own thing right now.
Okay.
And that's just the saddest thing. So everybody think that we just broke up, but we don't even speak and don't even talk or nothing. But it's not nothing like that.
Yeah.
Family, like we family and stuff. People don't understand that.
Yeah. And something that I always found crazy is that right after the last Jodeci album, we didn't really hear too much from you guys, for other artists. And there's been some
Yeah.
speculation that you guys have been ghost producing throughout the years. You know, can you confirm or deny these?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work with. I mean, it wasn't really ghost production, but like I just started writing and producing for a lot of people. I work with Mariah Carey. I work with Wu-Tang Clan. I work with Tupac. Who was one of my beloved friends. God bless the dead. I work with let me see, Mary J. Blige. I mean, I work with a lot of people, so we stayed busy.
Okay.
We stayed busy. In between times, I still work with Jodeci, like me, Casey, and Jojo and Devante go in the studio. We recorded like every night,
Okay.
But but everybody thought we had broke up, but we were just recording songs and ideas and ideas. So I mean, it's never like we stopped working. We kept working and being creative as far as artists. And then we went to London, we went to Europe, we toured Europe and sold out. We sold out Wembley Arena, 18,000 people a night. We went to Amsterdam, sold out. Went to Birmingham, Germany. We went working. We never stopped working together. Nothing. Even when Case and Jojo went out, sometimes I would show up at their show and make appearance on stage. Devante would show up and make an appearance on stage. So people had the perception that we just broke up and we don't even talk, but it's nothing like that, though. I mean, we still tight as a family.
Okay. I wanted to ask you a little bit about the Jodeci Sound, because, like I said, we haven't really heard too much from you guys since '95. So, how has that sound evolved from the last album? Because I would say that the sound that Timbaland and Missy came out with a year later was an extension of Jodeci. But what's the sound of Jodeci now?
Well, as far as Jodeci, I mean, Jodeci, we still like heavy. Jodeci is different from my sound as far as solo artists, but as far as Jodeci, we go through, man, hundreds of thousands of sounds, and we create things that people wouldn't usually do, or people wouldn't usually write, and that's what made Jodeci different from any R&B group. I mean, the sound of Jodeci now is still current, and it's still like old school where we left off at. It's gonna be a sound that people gonna recognize when you hear it. That's Jodeci. You got groups like Drew Hill that comes out, and you got all these groups that come out and try to duplicate that sound, but it's not the same thing. Even on my solo project, we take in what we do as far as our sounds, and everybody try to listen and duplicate. Missy and Timbaland and all came from our camp. They came from us.
Yeah.
But they can't even duplicate the sounds that we do.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Jodeci sound. Once you hear a new record that we drop, you're gonna know it's us. Whether it's me, whether it's Jodeci, whether it's Casey and JoJo, if me and Devante produce it, or Devante, you're gonna know it. You're gonna know it's a Jodeci rare because of the sound. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's probably hard for you to say right now, but when do you expect a Jodeci album to come out? I don't want to promise you nothing. Yeah.
But I would say probably near the end of the year. I would say that.
Okay. And would you guys be releasing that independently or with a label?
Well, we're still signing Interscope.
Okay.
I mean, we're still on Interscope.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still signing Interscope Universal. So I can't promise you a date though. So don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I can't promise you a date.
All right. Definitely.
But if I guess, I would say probably end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned earlier that Timbaland, Missy, and the rest of them came from your camp. I know back in the '90s you had your own record label, Clownin Records, and you had the producer Stevie J on there. So there's so much talent coming out of one camp. What was the hardest thing about running a label?
I see you do your homework, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I see you do your homework.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Clownin was actually a production company. What happened is, I had Stevie J come out. Stevie J. I had Minx Mafia. I had a bunch of groups come out from my label. It's just because when the music business started to change, everything changed. And sometimes you can't give us that overnight. You don't understand that. Like when Jodeci came out, before when we got to New York, we came to New York and we had to struggle for a long time before Jodeci even came out. And people don't know that. They thought we just came out overnight, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We sat in New York in the projects for almost 3 years. For 3 years.
Yeah.
Our record company we sat in the projects for like 3 years. In Bronx, Rosedale Avenue, we sat in the projects. And so sometimes people don't understand that. So, I mean, it gets a little confusing to people because they think, well, y'all Jodeci, y'all can do this, y'all can do that. But I mean, and then plus nowadays the music business is so different. It's so different. So, you know what I mean? But you still work hard. You don't stop working because talent at the end of the day always pays the way. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of artists don't understand that. They just want to be overnight. Overnight. They want overnight success, and it's just different.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been about, I guess, 17 years since the last Jodeci album. Are there any
Right.
regrets with that? For waiting so long to put out another record?
Well, you ever heard of Basement?
Yep.
Yeah, the Basement was static, and it was Player,
Yeah.
Timberland, Missy,
Yeah.
Sugar, everything. So I mean, so it's like, you go through these changes and changes and changes. Everybody expects you to just fix everything for them, and but as far as putting the Jodeci album out, I mean, it's just a little difficult because Casey and JoJo went off and had success on their own,
Yeah.
but they're still being successful as far as touring and stuff. I mean, so it's like the Eagles. Don Henley went off and did his own thing. Kiss. You look at Gene Simmons. He went off and did his own thing.
Yeah.
And you just got. I mean, when everything comes back around, everything goes in full circle. So when it comes back around, you just make it work when it comes back around. That's all you do. I mean, we have a brand that's been, that's been there and brought it that everybody knows what our brand is.
Yeah.
So Jodeci is a brand. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us as individuals. It's bigger than us as a group.
Yeah.
Jodeci is a brand, just like Kiss, just like the Eagles. It's bigger than us, so it's gonna always be there.
Yeah.
The Eagles they don't even speak for 40 years, and they go out and make 200. So that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what Kiss does.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just what it is. So it's not like, I mean, we can go tour off our old songs that we make because we make classic hit songs.
Yeah.
So that's just what we are right now.
Yeah.
And as far as the new material, we'll release the new material, but everybody want to hear Forever My Lady, Stay, Come and Talk to Me, Cry for You, Freaking You. They want to hear all these songs, so that's what we do.
Yeah, definitely.
I was listening to Prince talk one time, and he said he would never sing Purple Rain again.
Yeah.
And he ended up, then everybody like, you'll never sing Purple Rain again? That's who you are. You are Purple Rain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I went to see his concert. I went and hung out with him at his concert. And he had to sing Purple Rain. That's what everybody wanted to hear, Purple Rain. That's why we came to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy,
Yeah.
So that's just what that is.
Yeah. Speaking of Static, we're actually huge fans of his writing, so can you kind of talk to me a little bit about what it was like working with Static?
You ever heard of song that we did for Dangerous Minds? We did a song together. We was rapping, and Static's not a rapper. I'm not really a rapper, but did you ever see the movie Dangerous Minds?
Yeah, the song True OG, right?
Yeah, True OG. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She took that out. He took that out for a cassette. Me and Static was just playing one night in the studio, and when she came to the studio to meet my brother, because he was like, he kind of put the whole soundtrack together. And she heard the song. She's like, I'm following this soundtrack. I want this song, but it wasn't even finished. It was just me and Static playing around in the studio, and she heard it, and she came in the studio and listened to it. We're just rapping, and she's like, I want this song. So I gave her the cassette tape. I said, well, you can have it. Do whatever you want to do with it. We never mixed it or anything, and she took it, and next thing I know, it was on the soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was on the soundtrack. She just took the cassette and put it on the soundtrack.
Wow, that's crazy. With you guys being gone for so long, have you found that you guys had to, listen to the radio and keep up with what's going on, or have you guys just been doing your own thing?
We try to set trends, and that's why we go on our own mission and do what we do. We don't sit there and listen to the radio like, oh, this is hot. Let's make a beat because we never been like that. That's what set us apart from everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what makes Jodeci different. We've never done that. And we're a self-contained group as far as production, as far as writing, as far as singing, as far as performing, as far as the way we dress. We set trends. Everybody try to follow us.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you get to that point where you got to start following trends, that's why I feel like that's where you lose your creativity as far as being a self-contained group, or even being a group that has made made the, paved the way for a lot of groups. You can't follow trends because you fall in that category.
Yeah.
And we're not in the category. Jodeci, the bad boys of R&B. That's what we always gonna be.
Yeah.
Dalvin is one of the bad boys from the biggest R&B group in history.
Yeah.
So I don't follow trends. I don't listen to radio. I don't listen to Usher. I mean, and these are all my competitors, but I don't listen to them.
Yeah.
I just go do what I do, and I do it the best way I can.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep, for sure.
I don't follow trends. So, but I mean, I respect these artists, and I love their music.
Yeah.
But I don't follow the trends.
You mentioned the Basement earlier, and of course, each member of the Basement ended up having a lot of commercial success, from Genuine, Timbaland, Missy. Did you expect that to happen? When you guys first signed these artists?
Well, I mean, that's the reason that my brother recruited these artists, because they were all talented in their own right. You know what I'm saying? They were all talented. It wasn't just like they didn't have any talent. My brother seen everything, and I'm speaking of Devante.
Yeah.
He recognized the talent, and I recognized the talent. I worked with everybody that was in the Basement.
Yeah.
Even being in the studio a long night, we worked together, and I recognized the talent, and I knew why he handpicked all these people. But as far as that, I found Missy, and I knew that she was talented.
Yeah.
Not the most attractive person, but I knew she was talented.
Yeah.
So I mean, we just knew how to pick talent. Even when I seen Stevie J, he was playing a broke down piano at a wedding.
Yeah.
And I went to a wedding in Rochester when we was working on the last album, and I seen him playing the piano. The piano was out of key, it was out of tune, and I was like, man, this dude got something.
Yeah.
And I remember I went over and talked to him, and I said, Stevie J. But he introduced stuff, and I was like, Stevie J. And I even named him Stevie J. His name is Stephen Jordan.
Yeah.
I said, man, you guys know, why don't you come to the studio? And from then on, me and him was inseparable.
Yeah.
Was inseparable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we still talk. And then he went out with P. Diddy and everybody else.
Yeah.
And first he went on tour with us. He went out with P. Diddy and everybody and worked on Biggie's album, Bone Thugs and Harmony. But I recognize talent when I see it.
Yeah, definitely.
And my brother does. My brother does too.
Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure, because we ended up seeing success with everyone, so that's, interesting that you guys were able to just handpick them, and, everything just worked out in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about, you guys have been on tour overseas for a while now, and what's always interesting is the fact that for every show that you guys have overseas, it sells out. So how do you kind of explain that?
Right. Well, I think that I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I think that overseas they don't get to see American artists a lot.
Yeah.
So they stay loyal to, the fans stay loyal to the American artists because they don't get to see us a lot.
Yeah.
So whoever they choose to listen to and be fans for, they stay loyal to their fans. It's a different story in America when you come to America, and because there's so many artists over here that they don't. I mean, it's really like they just they go, they flip flop. But people love Jodeci. Like I said, you create a brand, and people gonna love you for who you are, regardless of who it is or what it is. But I see a lot of my friends that's entertainers and artists, and they can't sell out a club. Jodeci is a name that is a household name. Everybody tell me all the time, man, I had a baby off of Jodeci. I do this. I hear people, I name my baby Dalvin, or I name my baby Devante. And such and so on. But but it's not really the same loyalty, because it's like you go to the same grocery store every day.
Yeah.
You can go to the same meat section and you go get the same meat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it becomes like, it's nothing exciting.
Yeah.
But if you go overseas, they don't get to see you like that. They don't get to hear you like that. They only get to read the tabloids and look at newspapers and see what you're doing. But when you come there, it's a big thing, because they don't get that pleasure of seeing you all the time.
Yeah.
They don't get to see you walking down the street, or get to see you going shopping, or get to see you, in Hollywood or Beverly Hills or wherever, Subway. So when you go in there, they appreciate seeing you.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a story.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
a different thing. But that means, yeah,
Yeah. um, j-
yeah,
just wanted to ask about, like you mentioned, the brand Jodeci. It seems like even nowadays, if someone
mhm.
says Jodeci, it just has a special feeling to it. Did you guys ever see that happening back in the day, where even now everyone is still talking about Jodeci?
Well, I mean, when you're a kid, man, we all just do gospel music. When we started doing it, we never even imagined that it would explode the way it did. We didn't. We never imagined that. We just was doing music because that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like you working at Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever y'all got out there, and you go make the best hamburger. Then all of a sudden, you the best hamburger maker.
Yeah.
You never expect that. That's what I do at home. I make hamburger meat at home. This is what we do.
Yep.
You never expect that. But when it happened, I mean, it just exploded out of nowhere. And you just ride the wave, and then all of a sudden, that's who you are.
Yeah.
That's who you are. I'm part of this group that's one of the biggest. We the biggest R&B group selling of all time.
Yeah.
We sold more albums than Temptation. So it's like you don't expect that. I mean, because we look up to these people. So
Yeah.
you don't expect that. So when it happens, you just try to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it's bumps and bruises. It's bumps and bruises in the work, but the road all the time. But you just learn how to deal with it. You learn how to deal with it and try to stay sane and be like, man, when everybody's screaming your name and yelling your name, and when you can go to a festival, 80,000 people, and they screaming and yelling. I mean, it's a little surreal, but I mean, it's good. It feels good because they respect and they love what you've done.
Yeah.
To us, it's okay. It's just another day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's just another day.
Yeah.
So I mean, but you love that feeling though.
Yeah.
And I'd probably say that for any entertainer that's ever sold 100 records in their life.
Yeah.
You don't expect it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do that's what you do. That's your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it happens for you, it's like, man, it's kind of surreal. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you never expect it though. He's like, oh, we just making songs. Like most of the songs we made for Jodeci was for our girlfriends. Come and Talk to Me was made for Devante's girlfriend. He just worked there for a girl and went to the army.
Yep.
That was one of our biggest songs. It was one of our biggest songs. She had the original demo tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So you'll never expect that. So you don't never know how to react to it. You just try to go with it and see what it does. We sold out arenas, stadiums, everything.
Yeah.
And that's just what we do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier, you guys had talents like Stevie J, Devante had, the whole Basement Clique. And then I noticed around, the mid 2000s, Devante had also Flow Rida, and I believe Keisha Cole at a time. Just talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
Are you guys still developing talent right now?
Right now my main focus is on my solo album. And
Okay.
I just work with another artist that's on Carter Management. Her name is Autumn. I work with her, and I'm about to work with another artist that's on the Carter Management. His name is Caleb. So we're gonna do that, and we developing. We still develop talent all the time. That's all we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't never stop. As we speak, I'm sitting in the studio right now,
Okay.
working on something. And CeeLo got an artist. Her name is V.
Yeah.
And me and my nephew sitting in the studio. We're working on V's project right now.
Yeah.
So I just wrote like 7 songs from this autumn. She's coming out, and we constantly work. We work till the sun come up.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, our sleep schedule so off, but we work all the time, man.
Yeah, definitely.
We work. That's all we do is work.
Yeah.
And we just had these couple of shows. I just opened up for Little Kim and Bow Wow. So I mean, we just work. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's the main thing we do.
Yeah. The last question that I have for you, just hypothetically speaking, let's say that the show, The After Party, The Hotel was the last album that Jodeci put out. Would you be comfortable leaving like that?
Good question, man.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Now, you got people that's pushed out the industry.
Yeah.
And you got people that wanted in the industry. I'm gonna tell you, Jodeci is wanted in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, and you gotta know when to make that decision. And I think that Jodeci is necessary, very necessary. All of us, individually and collectively, we are necessary.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
So,
that's all that I had for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
well, man, I just say I appreciate you wanting to, talk to me, Kyle. It's been good, man. It's been fun talking to you.